Good morning everyone. In today's class, we will discuss about fourth chapter, the theory of the firm under perfect competition. So in the third chapter, we discussed about the production and the cost. So production means the transformation of inputs into output. So the input will be representing the cost of producing the product and the output represents the revenue from those products. A firm will get its revenue by selling its products. In this chapter, we will study where do the producers sell their products, at what prices, do they earn profit or incur loss, what forces determine the price of the product, and how a perfect competitive market does attain its equilibrium position. So in order to know all these things, we are going to start up with a new concept about the market. So let us see in general term what is the meaning of market. So market refers to a place where buyers and sellers meet in order to carry on transaction of goods and services. But in economics, market refers to an arrangement where buyers and sellers come in contact with each other directly or indirectly to buy or sell the goods. So directly and indirectly means a market need not necessarily a physical meeting place. Okay, we don't need a fixed place. Okay, it means that face to face contact I am saying. Only when we go to market we see the seller and we buy the goods, how we have a contact face to face. But in economics there is no need of any face to face contact of buyers and sellers is not necessary. See, for example, a cloth merchant from Bangalore need not go to Mumbai to buy clothes. Instead, a cloth merchant can contact the Mumbai textile mill owner through the telephone and the computers, and they will have the conversation, an agreement regarding the price and the quantity and the time of delivery of the cloths. Everything will be discussed and the agreement will be signed. Based on that, even stock market, share markets, how it is going on online, whether they are meeting at a particular place, no, they will be, buyer will be in one place, seller will be in another place. Even online shopping, Amazon, Flipkart, how do we have a, whether we are meeting the seller, no, we buy through the online. So market means it's not only a particular place where buyers and sellers contact, but it doesn't refer to a fixed place. Okay, when the sellers and buyers contact, whether directly or indirectly, whether through the telephone or a computers online, that refers to a market. Got it? Now we will move on towards the classification of markets. See, in the classification of markets, it is broadly classified into three. Okay, one is based on place, second based on time. The market structure have been classified on based on competition. Okay, now we'll see based on place how the market is classified. Based on place, it is classified like local market, national market, international markets. Local markets means near our place where we find the market, we call it as a local market. National means like states, okay, one state to another state. So what we buy and sell, that is a national market. International market means between the countries. Okay, when the trade takes place between the countries, when the buyers and sellers meet, that is a national market. So based on place, the markets have been classified as local market, national market and international market. Number 2, based on time. So based on time, how the markets have been classified means very short period or market period. Number 2, short period. Number 3, long period. See, in a very short period, for example, if you take milk, vegetables, fruits, flowers, we cannot keep it for a longer period of time. We have to sell it immediately as soon as possible because that is perishable in nature. We cannot store and preserve for a long. So that market refers to a very short period or a market period. Next is short period. Short period means like grains, pulses, okay, like 3 to 6 months or 1 year we keep it. So that is short period market where the goods can be cleared within this period. So we call it as a short period. Then long period. In the long period we can preserve it for a longer period. For example, like furnitures and precious jewels. Okay, so these items and all can be kept for a longer period. So the market is classified on based on time, that is very short period and the long period. Next is based on competition. So based on competition, the market is classified into perfect competition and imperfect competition. Okay, so in this chapter we have many things to discuss about the perfect and imperfect competition. So your chapters 4, 5 and 6 will be the continuity. It has a interlink. Okay, so the 4th chapter has a continuation with the 5th chapter, 5th chapter has a continuation with the 6th chapter. So in a perfect competition, in this chapter we are going to concentrate only about the perfect competition. So imperfect competition will be the continuation of 5th and 6th chapter. Got it? Even the 4th chapter, perfect competition. So 4th chapter, the topic name itself, the theory of the firm under the perfect competition. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about the perfect competition. Now we'll see what is perfect competition. See, perfect competition means is a market where there will be existence of large number of buyers and sellers dealing with homogeneous products. See, in this image I have showed many people are there. It is showing that existence of large number of buyers and sellers. See, when we go to market, we find many sellers will be selling the different types of goods. Okay, and also we can find many buyers in the market. So perfect competitive market is a consisting of large number of, large means many, we know that. So large number of buyers and sellers will be here. What is the thing is, there will be dealing with the homogeneous products. Homogeneous means similar kind of a product but not differentiated product. Okay, and they will have a single price. Okay, and how the price of the commodity fixed here will be based on demand and supply. Okay, here we have to understand more about this perfect competition, we have to know the features of perfect competition. So number 1, large number of buyers and sellers. Number 2, homogeneous product. Number 3, free entry and free exit of the firm. Number 4, price taker. Number 5, information is perfect. So to know this more, we will move on to the next slide. First one is, the first feature of perfect competitive market is large number of buyers and sellers. So the first condition which a perfectly competitive market must satisfy is concerned with the seller side. Here we have two sides, one is seller, the another one is buyer. Okay, where we can find large number of sellers and many number of buyers will be there in the market. Okay, first we'll see about the seller side from the point of seller side. So no single firm can influence the prices here. Okay, and here many sellers will be selling the homogeneous product. All the seller, for example, will be selling the homogeneous product, same kind of a product. For example, these sellers are selling all toothpaste, or these sellers are selling the soap. Okay, that means homogeneous, no differences. Okay, so all these sellers will be selling the same goods and the buyers will be buying the same commodities. Okay, the first feature of perfectly competitive market is large number of buyers and sellers. And here the sellers will be the firms producing the product for sale in the market. These firms must be all relatively small as compared to the market as a whole. All will be the small firms only. Okay, and each buyer should purchase just a fraction of the market supplies. Whatever the sellers are supplying the goods, the buyers should buy whatever it is supplied in the market. They should not have any kind of a association or any kind of a group. Okay, so this is the first feature of perfect competitive market. So second feature is homogeneous product. Okay, homogeneous means identical products or similar products. For example, in the example given here is apple and here it is given pomegranate. Okay, so to see this, each apple, it's looking same. Here pomegranate, if you take it, it is looking same. So the sellers will be producing all similar kind of a product, homogeneous, identical in nature. Can you find any differences in the apple compared to this and this? No, all looking same, homogeneous. Okay, the goods will look same, similar kind. Okay, so there should not be any differentiation of a product. There will be no differences. Okay, differences will not be there in the goods. They will be identical by all the buyers in the market. Okay, their products must be considered. Every buyer will know this is identical, this is same. Okay, and products by sellers by way of in what way and all these goods will be similar means in quality, in color, in design, in packing or other selling conditions of the product. Everything will be the similar. For such kind of a goods we call it as a homogeneous product. Homo means similar, same kind of. Okay, same kind of goods the producer will be producing. So the next feature we will move towards free entry and exit. Free entry and exit of the firm. See, we know free means there is no restriction. Restriction will not be there. Okay, towards entry means suppose I am going toward a particular place, there is no a barrier will be there. Okay, I can enter freely. So all the people will be coming freely without any restrictions. And suppose now this is a firm, for example. In this firm, suppose if I wanted to join this firm, okay, I am joining my small firm with this, I can enter the firm without any restrictions. There is no restriction for me to enter this big firm. Okay, suppose if I feel that I should go out, I don't want to do a business with them. Okay, so this is a firm and I am a small firm. I want to join this firm. I have a free entry to enter this. There will be no barrier or restriction. Suppose if I doesn't like my company, okay, suppose if I doesn't like this firm to be there, I can exit freely from the firm. There is no restriction or a barrier. So we will be selling a homogeneous commodity. Okay, homogeneous commodity the firms will be producing, and if I like that I can enter the firm. If I don't like, I can exit the firm. So that is another important feature of perfectly competitive market. Number 4 is the another important characteristic feature of perfectly competitive, that is it is a most single distinguishing character of perfect competition is price taker. Here, no buyers and no sellers will influence the price. The price will be fixed here. Okay, the price will be fixed, and the seller has to just receive the price and buyer have to just pay the price. The buyer cannot influence the price or the seller cannot influence the prices of the commodity under the perfect competition. Whatever the price prevailing in the market, both the buyers and seller has to receive whatever the buyers are giving, and buyers have to pay what is the price given there. Okay, buyers cannot argue like bargain, make it reduce, lesser the price. He cannot argue, and even the seller cannot impose more price on that commodity. Suppose if he imposes more price, he will lose the customer. Suppose if price is lesser there, they will get a more demand. Okay, so they will not involve in the risk, so just they will act as a price taker. Here sellers are the price takers. Okay, and number 5, information is perfect. Okay, so the last feature of perfect competition is information is perfect. See why I have put this I's means, suppose when we know everything about the product, about the quality, about the price, that means known to us. So how we can see, how we can know? Through the eyes. That's why I have given the image eyes. Okay, so when is everything is in front of our eyes, can anybody cheat us? Can anybody manipulate us? No, nobody can manipulate and cheat because we are seeing everything. When the information is perfect, so it is given. Okay, the buyers know the perfect information about the price. Okay, about the quality, about the quantity, about the product. When he knows the perfect knowledge about the product, when the information is perfect, no sellers can be cheated or nor buyers can be cheated. So the information will be perfect in the perfectly competitive market. Okay, so altogether we have 5 important features of perfect competitive market. Perfect competitive market means it is a market where there will be a existence of large number of buyers and sellers dealing with a homogeneous product. Number 1, the feature is large number of sellers and buyers. Number 2, homogeneous product. Number 3, free entry and free exit of a firm. Number 4, price taker. Number 5, information is perfect. Perfect information will be known to the buyers and sellers regarding the product, price, quality and the quantity of a product. So this is about the introduction of the new chapter, the theory of the firm and the perfect competition. So in the coming classes we will see one by one. Thank you for watching.